Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Whispering Star Oracle. I have a lovely reading for you today using Oracle and Tarot cards. Today we will be asking Spirit to help us to be enlightened regarding something that we need to release. What are we needing to release and let go of over the course of the next week? What have we been contemplating letting go or maybe struggling to let go recently, and where can we be best served and serve the greater good of all those involved by releasing something? So I'm going to start with our Wishcraft Oracle. So Spirit, what is it that we're needing to release or let go of or surrender to in the upcoming days? How can we best serve ourselves and others by letting this go? We'll do a couple cards. Oh, that one wants to come out. Okay. All right. So first we have, oh my gosh, this is a beautiful card. It says, freeze it. And it's the 17 card. So hello, Whispering Star, we see you. That is the star card in tarot. So that is very in alignment. And the mantra says, I freeze what I no longer want. So, well, how poignant for that to come up in this reading, that we are asking Spirit what we need to let go of, how we need to surrender, what we need to release. And the messaging is that we freeze what we no longer want. So there we're looking at the water element and ice. So maybe there is something that is no longer in flow for you. Maybe there is something that you've been thinking to yourself, I'm not sure if I really want this anymore. So maybe the nature is to freeze it, either temporarily or permanently. I don't think, we'll maybe see what the rest of the reading lets us know about the permanence of this release. But for right now, I think that a sacred pause would be really intuitive. It definitely has to do with stopping or seizing up something that maybe we don't want anymore. And maybe that will create the space to find a decision in what we want to do. Wow. Excellent messaging. Let's see what the other Wishcraft Oracle says. These are so cute. You know, this is a really fun deck. It's actually for children, but I love some of the imagery and the symbolism. This says, "Ooh," like the wolf. And he's howling at the moon, and he's in a beautiful nightlit forest. And it says, my voice is heard in the world. Okay. So that for me, I'm hearing Spirit tell us that maybe we need to let go of our fear of being heard. Maybe we need to let out our wolfy cry like I just did. Even though that I had a blink of a thought of like, my audience is going to think I'm crazy if I howl like a wolf, but I did it anyway. I released that fear, that almost instant thought in my mind of doubt, and was like, no, howl like the wolf at the moon. Oh, I'll even do it again for you. My voice is heard in the world. So this message for us today, I think, is that maybe the sacred pause is creating space so that we can let go of fears about being heard, so that we can release anything that's keeping us hung up about sharing our opinion or sharing our viewpoint or sharing what's important to us. Maybe it has to do with sharing your gift with the world. Maybe you've been struggling to let go with that. You know, it can be sometimes hard to put ourselves out there, but we can do a lot of releasing around our own limitations and fears that will free us up to have our voice be heard in the world. So, oh my gosh, that is such lovely, lovely messaging. Okay, let's go to the tarot deck and get a few cards. We're going to see here, Spirit, thank you so much for those initial guidances to freeze what we no longer want and allow our voice to be heard in the world, maybe surrendering some fear and just being as we are. What other messages do we as a collective need to hear related to surrendering or letting go or releasing in the upcoming days? I don't have anybody jumping out yet. Spirit's thinking. Ooh, those came out in a chunk. Let's see what we're looking at. And they came up in this direction. Ooh, we've got a nice little grouping. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they came out in that order. So, or in that designation. So we'll just do them right in order. So, first card we have is the King of Swords. All right. So with the King of Swords, you know, we've really mastered our logic and our intellect and our thinking. And we definitely want to come from a place of being strong in our mind, and we're going to be able to make fast decisions. So maybe we're going to be really empowered just through this reading even. I love this imagery of the King of Swords. This is a beautiful deck, by the way. This is the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. Yeah, Chris Ann. She's fabulous. We're going to be able to bring to the table that sharp intellect and the sharpness of our mind to help us know and understand what we do need to release. I'll get us some keywords maybe at the end of the reading. Let's see what we have next. The Three of Pentacles. Ooh, so this is nice. You know, we're building something, but we're building something together. Maybe we're going to be releasing something that we were building something with people, but maybe more collaboration is needed, or maybe we need to pause that work with others to see how we can best move forward. Maybe a project is coming to fruition, although the Three of Pentacles I don't think is about endings. The Nine of Swords reversed. Ooh. I think this is going to be a positive message for us. And then last but not least, we have the Wheel. Ooh. So with the wheel, you know, the wheel is always turning and things are coming up. It is in its normal expression. So taking that sacred pause, releasing fear, using our intellect to make smart decisions and choices about collaborations. And I believe this card is a person is sad, but they're getting over their sadness. If it's reversed, we can see here that maybe all of that negative energy is moving away. So maybe we've cried our tears and it's time to release those. And if we're able to optimize that, then we can release the need for certainty and just let the wheel do its job and bring us what divinity intends to bring us. And we will have the intellect to go with the flow. This might be a card about flow. The yarn is flowing. Go with the flow and to be able to handle whatever comes to us. I love that there's a little star, like the North Star on the wheel there. Yes, the King of Swords, we have the clear thinking, a strong communication ability, blending of mental and spiritual pursuits, bravery and courage. So yeah, so much good energy. You know, sometimes it takes courage to let go of things that we've been just desperately clinging to. And so this says, go ahead, be brave, have courage. And then here we have cooperation, community, teaching and learning, sharing and listening, teamwork. There is no limit to what you can manifest together. So maybe what I was saying earlier, perhaps we need to let go of our resistance to working with others. You know, I've been actually thinking about that a lot lately, and I tend to fly solo when I'm working on a new project, but perhaps since this is a reading about release and letting go, we want to not be too independent, and we want to let go of that need to try and do it alone, or that self-will. We want to let divinity guide us toward the people who will be inspiring and help us reach our goals. So yeah, I think that's a much better interpretation of that card. The spiritual guidance for the Nine of Swords is, I see my fears as the illusions that they are. So yes, letting go of our fears, understanding that they are 9 times out of 10 made up in our mind. That's the sword, is the suit of the mind. And we can move away from that. We want to move away from negative self-talk that affects our self-esteem. And this is an opportunity to actively begin the healing journey. So yes, we're going to release the inner turmoil, as I said, and we're going to move toward a place of healing so that we can do that. And I mentioned fear as well, deeply anchored fears. We're letting that ish go as well. Goodbye. And then I think my interpretation was pretty spot on with the wheel, but let's see. Yes, changes, fate, destiny, a lucky break, cycling through karmic lessons. I feel like this is about, you've learned the karmic lessons from whatever is in the past. And so we want to spend some time identifying, yes, we learned those things, and then move on. A turning point or serendipity. So we want to release so that we can navigate that turning point. And the mantra for this card is, I allow the transformative energies of fate to help me expand my experience. Oh, lovely. Well, everyone, that has been a wonderful reading about what we need to release and let go and surrender to in the upcoming week. I hope that this message resonated with you. Remember to take what you want and leave the rest. Thank you so much for joining me today. I can't wait to bring you another reading. Goodbye.